All right, this is your brother Issachar coming at you with another lesson. First off, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaa Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstones to learn his truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing his word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the aqua that's listening and learning. Today's video is going to be entitled, Listen to Your Own Advice. All right, it's going to be entitled, Listen to Your Own Advice. Now, I got aspired to do this lesson because of something that I remember me saying in a video that I did yesterday. And I brought out the scripture where it tells you to get the beam out of your own eye before you tell another brother to get the beam out of his eye. All right. And I'm going to read that in a little bit. But when I was thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, man, you got to listen to your own advice. You know, we do these videos. Of course, we're doing these videos so we can help edify the elect. We can help build up the house of David. And we can uplift each other within the spirit, so then that way we can stay grounded and keep it moving within this truth. All right, we listen to these videos, so then that way we can always remember what the Lord is saying. All right, but before you even go to a video, you should always listen to your own advice. You should listen to the words that you bring out as well. All right, because the thing is, before you even do a video, you got to read these scriptures. You got to read these scriptures, and these scriptures are for you. All right. These scriptures are for you first and foremost. And then that way you can believe, because you already got the other brothers and sisters that believe, but you got to make sure that you actually believe in this truth 100%. All right. You can hear certain things or whatever that you may say, and and sometimes you got to be like, you know what? I got to start doing things a little bit better. I got to start going a little bit harder when it comes to certain situations or areas within this truth, because everybody has a quote unquote weak spot with whatever it is that you're dealing with within this truth. I remember Apostle Gabar saying, you know, when you first come into this truth, the Most High is going to put you into temptation. That's what it says in the book of Sirach, the second chapter. He was like, you'll figure it out. The Most High is going to have something happen where he's going to always put you in some type of situation where you're going to have to battle within his truth and get rid of that demon, man. All right. So first and foremost, you have to listen to your own advice, man, which is paying attention to these scriptures that you bring out. So we're going to start off with the book of Sirach, chapter 1. Then we're going to go to verse 28. It says, distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. This goes hand in hand, I believe, with James 1 and 8. We're going to get that real quick. Hold on, let's get that. We're going to get James chapter 1, and then we're going to go to verse 8. And it says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And the reason why a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways is because he can't make up his mind, man. When you in this truth, you have to be straightforward. And that will lead you to being on fire every single day, instead of you being lukewarm or cold. You already know when you lukewarm, you are definitely unstable, because certain weeks you on fire with this truth, and technically you're not on fire. Certain weeks you'll do things for the truth to help the gospel. Another week you'll do something, you'll see yourself falling off, doing shit that you ain't supposed to be doing. And then another week you'll come back and be like, okay, no, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Back and forth, man. That's a double-minded man. A double-minded man cannot make up his mind. He always making up a decision as he goes. He'll have something in his mind to say, this is how I'm going to tackle today. And then at the very last minute, he'll switch it up. That's unstable, man. You got to be grounded when it comes to this truth, man. You got to be straightforward as a soldier. So we're going to go back to it. It says in Sirach chapter 1, verse 28, it says, distrust not the fear of the Lord when thou art poor, and come not unto him with a double heart. When you come to serve the Lord, you got to be all in. The Lord is not looking for lukewarm or weak people. He's not looking for somebody who's going to be making mistakes all the time, man. He's looking for somebody that's going to keep it moving and bring out and acknowledge his name, man. And tell people about these prophecies, these scriptures, speaking to you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? Verse 29, it says, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest, all right? Pay attention to what you're saying. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men. When you go out there and tell people to stop smoking, stop celebrating holidays, stop watching pornography, so forth and so on, you got to make sure that you not a hypocrite. You got to make sure that you going out there and telling them not to do those things, and also you're not doing them either. All right, you got to get all of that out of your system, all of it, because you don't want to get caught up. You don't want to go out there and start teaching, telling people to do certain things. Next thing you know, the Most High puts the light upon you and exposes you. Now you look like an idiot. You don't want that, man. So take good heed what thou speakest. It says, verse 30, it says, exalt not thyself lest thou fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And so the Most High discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in truth to the fear of the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. All right. So never boast or brag. Never boast or brag. All right. Because this truth was freely given unto you. And the Most High could take this truth away from you in a blink of an eye. All right. Just because you got wisdom and knowledge and you realizing that you're growing within this truth, that doesn't mean that you bring other people down and you start bragging and boasting because you know a lot. That's not what this is, man. You know, especially in this day and age, because we got to upload videos, man. You can get to the point where you upload a video, you start seeing yourself get a lot of traffic. People may, you may upload a video, it may get like 8,000 views. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Certain videos can blow up like that. You get a whole lot of people watching your videos. You get a whole lot of women commenting on your videos, and that can get you to the point where you just like, oh, okay, people really messing with me. You're not supposed to get in that mindset, that mind state where you're supposed to be like, people are messing with me. This is not. We're not looking for fans. All right, we're not looking for fans at all. The only thing that we're doing is just doing the work of the Lord. That's it. You know what I'm saying? When you see the comment board or whatever, you're just supposed to look at it as, okay, I did my job to help wake up the elect, to help feed the elect for today. That's it, man. You say shalom and then you keep it moving. That's all you're supposed to do. Now let's go to the book of Matthew. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 7, and then we're going to start at verse 1. It says, judge not that you be not judged. For with judgment ye judge, you shall be judged, and with measure you meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thy own eye? All right. Why you looking at somebody else, thinking about their faults, bringing out their faults, when the same fault is within you? Why you doing that, man? That's a hypocrite. Oh, how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote out of thine eye, and behold, a beam is in thine own eye? How you gonna help somebody get better in the situation that you fell in at? All right, you got to listen to your own advice. You got to listen to these scriptures, because like I said, because before you bring out a video, you got to read these scriptures. You got to read these scriptures, understand what they're saying, and you got to take heed to them for yourself. All right, verse 5, it says, thou hypocrite. See, hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thy own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye. All right, as soon as you get yourself right, then you can help others get right. All right, you got to make sure that you good first. That's the only way that you can teach and grow the correct way within this truth, man. That way you won't be a hypocrite. Like I said, you don't want things coming out in the future and then people be like, yeah, remember you said this in this video, or they said that in that video. You said you wasn't doing this, you wasn't doing that. Now look, people exposing you. You're gonna see all of those. You're gonna see all of those comments pop up. You're gonna see brothers do videos on you, and then it's a wrap, man. So you don't want that, man. You want to make sure that you're doing things the right way. Now let's get the book of James again. We're gonna get James chapter 1. Then we're going to go all the way down to verse 17. It says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and coming down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Of his own will beget he us with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. All right. Supposed to be swift to listening. All right. Listening. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. All right. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. When you come into this truth, you're supposed to be a doer of this word. When you read certain things and you know that you're supposed to be operating and moving a certain way, you're supposed to be doing that, man. You're not just supposed to be hearing the word and be like, oh yeah, I believe this. I believe what they saying. I believe that these scriptures are saying. But behind the scenes, you're not doing what the scriptures are telling you to do. You're deceiving your own selves. You telling a lie to your own selves. You lying to yourself. All right. That's why it says what it says right here. It says, for if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Exactly. You looking in the mirror and you hearing the word, and you believe, and you talking about you believe in the word, but as soon as you leave that mirror, you go outside and you forget completely what you just heard, man. You forget everything that you were just taught and everything, because you going out there and you being another person, which is a person in the world. A person that literally got his one foot in the truth and another foot in the world. You over here trying to balance, trying to balance whatever it is that you going through and all of that. But technically, you just completely just going off. That's one of the things that you really got to remember, man. It's the fear of the Lord. Because just for the simple fact that just because brothers may not be finding out right now what you're doing, that doesn't mean that it won't come out. And even if whatever you doing behind the scenes don't come out, I remember Apostle Tahar saying it. He was like, the Most High, he'll find a way to sift you out anyway. Because you could be playing these games or whatever and acting like some type of righteous man within this truth, but then at the last minute, you see the chariots, you see everything is going on, you hoping that you get beamed up, that you realize you didn't get beamed up, and you already know the reason why. You ain't got to front, because you can't front with your thoughts. You can't front with what you did in the past. You're going to think about immediately. You're immediately going to think about all of the faults and mistakes that you made in the past before Yahushua returned, man. You can't front that. So at the end of the day, this is why you got to listen to your own advice. This is why you got to be a doer of the word and not just a hearer. You got to be really in this truth, man, and fear the Most High. Fear the Most High. As soon as you realize that you think you're about to make a mistake, you're supposed to think about the Most High immediately and be like, you know what? Let me stop. Let me stop, man. Of course, the scriptures say that the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Yeah, this flesh is weak. It really is, because we grew up here in Babylon. So things are going to happen. Don't get me wrong. The scriptures say that our righteousness is as filthy rags, but at the same time, the scriptures also say a just man falleth 7 times. A just man falleth 7 times, meaning he gets back up and keeps doing what he's supposed to do by the Lord. He doesn't live in sin. There's a difference between living in sin and just committing sin just cause. You're not supposed to have that mindset where you just like, yeah, he's going to forgive me because I'm in his flesh. Nah, man. You're supposed to want to get right all the time, man. All the time, every day. So let's get one last scripture, then we'll close it out. We're going to get Joshua. We're going to get Joshua chapter 23, and then we're going to go to verse 6. And it says, be ye therefore very courageous to keep and to do all that is written in the book of the law of Moses, that you turn not aside therefrom to the right hand or to the left, that you come not among these nations, these that remain among you, neither make mention of the name of their gods, nor cause to swear by them, neither serve them, nor bow yourselves unto them, but cleave unto the Lord your power, as you have done unto this day. For the Lord hath driven out from before you great nations and strong, but as for you, no man hath been able to stand before you until this day. One man of you shall chase 1,000, for the Lord your power, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised. Take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves, there it is, that you love the Lord your power. Else, if you do anywise, go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, or go in unto them, and they to you. Know for a certainty that the Lord your power will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from off of this good land which the Lord your power hath given you. And we getting ready to go through this right now, because the Lord is getting ready to do work to these nations, especially Esau. He's going to make sure, you know what I'm saying, like it says right here, 1 man of you shall chase 1,000. All right, because a lot of us are going to receive that spiritual power, Lord willing. It says, for the Lord your power, he it is that fighteth for you, as he hath promised you. The Most High did promise 144,000 that power. The Most High promised that he was going to save his elect. All right. But it says right here, if you make marriages with them, now and speaking in this day and age, if you keep doing what's in the world, all right, not being 144% within his truth, the Most High is going to make sure that these nations get you instead of you getting them. That's exactly what's going to happen, man. All right. That's why it says right here in verse 11, take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves. There it is. Listen to your own advice. Take good heed. Listen. Pay attention. Examine. Really realize what you are part of. And it says that you love the Lord your power. How do you love the Most High? We already know how you love the Most High. By following the commandments, statutes, and laws. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. All you got to do is live by the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's it. If you keep doing that over and over and over and over again, the Most High is going to make sure that you're protected and you're going to be confident. Like the scriptures say, make your calling and your election sure, man. All right. So listen to your own advice, man. Of course, we listen to the different brothers. So then that way, like I said, we can keep being uplifted within the spirit and everything. But you got to listen to what you saying too, man. The words that you say are edifying to yourself. All right. So, you know, you got to listen to what you saying and just be like, you know what? Yeah. You know, I do need to do this. I do need to do that. All right. Build yourself up. Become a better man / woman for the Most High and his son, man. All right. So take good heed, therefore, unto yourselves. Listen to your own advice. So I hope this is edifying. So with that, I'm going to say, call Halayim Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles of the great millstones I learned his truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Akwat that's listening and learning. And Yahweh Ratazad, I'll be back with another lesson. Keep pushing, Yasharala. Keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom.